guests, welcome to SAHA 2026.
Son bir kez daha alandaki yerlerinizi almanızı önemli rica ederiz. Welcome to SAHA 2026 and welcome to Istanbul, one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Sayın Bakanlarımız,
we have our distinguished guests, our ministers from other countries, and guests, members of the protocol, and members of press. Welcome to SAHA 2026, the International Defense and Aerospace Expo.
Together to witness the level our defense, aerospace, and space industry have reached to lay the foundations for strong future collaborations and to share a strategic vision on a global scale. SAHA 2026 is not just an exhibition, it's an international platform where knowledge, technology, and experience converge. Kıymetli konuklar, bugün burada savunma geldiği noktayı birlikte görmek, geleceğe dair güçlü işbirliklerinin temellerini atmak ve küresel ölçekte stratejik bir vizyonun paylaşmak üzere bir araya gelmiş bulunuyoruz. SAHA 2026 yalnızca bir fuar değil, aynı zamanda
SAHA 2026 is an international platform where knowledge and experience converge.
Industry, its engineering capabilities, and its vision for domestic production. This event stands as a significant meeting point that
The speaker is saying everything in Turkish and then in English.
contributes to the global peace. Kıymetli konuklar, dünyanın dört bir yanından gelen katılımcılarla birlikte savunma sanayimizin yenilikçi gücünü, mühendislik kabiliyetlerini ve yerli üretim vizyonunu sergilemekten çok büyük bir mutluluk ve gurur duyuyoruz. Bu organizasyon ülkeler arası işbirliğini güçlendiren, ortak projelere zemin hazırlayan ve küresel barışa katkı sunan önemli bir buluşma noktasıdır. Distinguished guests, before we proceed with the moment of silence and the national anthem of the Republic of Turkey, I would like to invite to stage the Naval Forces Command, Northern Naval Area Command Band to the stage. Kıymetli konuklar, saygı duruşu ve İstiklal Marşımızın icrasına geçmeden Deniz Kuvvetleri Komutanlığı, Kuzey Deniz Saha Komutanlığı bandosunu sahneye davet ediyorum. Ladies and gentlemen, now I kindly invite you all to be upstanding to observe a moment of silence in memory of Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, his comrades in arms, as well as our revered martyrs, followed by the national anthem of the Republic of Turkey. Kıymetli konuklar, şimdi sizleri Gazi Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, silah arkadaşları ve aziz şehitlerimizin anısına saygı duruşuna ve akabinde İstiklal Marşımızı icra etmek üzere ayağa davet ediyorum. A powerful performance and opening that reflects true spirit of SAHA 2026. I would like to thank once again the Naval Forces Command, Northern Naval Area Command Band. Deniz Kuvvetleri Komutanlığı, Kuzey Deniz Saha Komutanlığı bandosuna bir kez daha çok teşekkür ediyor. Kendilerini yerlerine uğurluyoruz. Ladies and gentlemen, now we continue our program with the SAHA 2026 promotional film. Kıymetli konuklar, şimdi sizleri SAHA 2026 tanıtım filmiyle baş başa bırakıyoruz.
Some stories are timeless. The name may change, but the spirit remains the same. The hero may change, but the voice remains the same. The age may change, but the mind remains the same. Even if the alphabet changes, the words remain the same. Some stories are timeless. If time changes, the power remains the same. Witness the transformation of power into technology. In the game-changing power of technology. to the voice of the new heroes of the sky. Become part of the confidence born from unity. Join the journey that transcends the horizon of time. At the heart of the partnership, feel the heart of production. Growing together, join the greatest meeting of the future now. Be part of a timeless story. Rule the technology. Shape the future. The future is written here through technology. This is a point of convergence where the leading forces of the defense, aerospace, and space industries come together at the crossroads of two continents. SAHA 2026 unites the ecosystem around a common vision. Deepens strategic collaborations and sets a new benchmark in global competition. More than an exhibition, a strategic platform where groundbreaking technologies meet diplomacy and global trade. Bilateral meetings, international panels, delegations, and decision makers. This power that brings continents together translates directly into outcomes. Don't just observe, be the one who leads. Engage with the most influential players in the defense and aerospace industry.
Türkiye, global savunma sanayi sektöründe güçlü bir oyuncu olma yolunda emin adımlarla ilerliyor.
Rule the technology. Shape the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just watched our promotional film, which reflects the evolution of Turkish defense industry, the level of capability it has achieved, and the role of SAHA 2026 as a global showcase for this powerful ecosystem. Kıymetli konuklar, Türk savunma sanayinin gelişimini...
The lady is repeating what she said in Turkish. Esteemed Minister of National Defense, Minister of Industry and Technology, Honorable President of the Defense Industries, distinguished guests, and valuable stakeholders of our sector. At a time of growing global uncertainty, we are proud to welcome you under the banner of SAHA 2026, where collective wisdom meets technology. Welcome, and may your presence bring us joy. Distinguished guests, today we are not merely opening an exhibition. We are discussing a revolution in mindset and the new equation of the global ecosystem. The world stands at a critical juncture, having evolved from trade wars to a struggle for technological supremacy. Our country and our allies are engaged in an existential struggle at this juncture. Here at SAHA 2026, we are demonstrating together how the future will be shaped by technology. The world is waking up with a jolt from the illusion of free trade to which it has long been accustomed. Trade wars and protectionism are no longer merely commercial terms, but have become new fronts in the global power struggle. Geopolitical tensions and blockages in critical choke points such as the Strait of Hormuz and the volatility in energy costs have highlighted just how fragile industrial supply chains are. In such a new era, therefore, national production capacity is not merely an economic choice, but a vital resilience test and an inevitable necessity for the survival of nations. The technologies of the future are intrinsically linked to the security of supply of rare earth elements. In this new era, where supply is being used as a geopolitical weapon, resource diversification and technological independence have become one of the most critical cornerstones of national security. The nature of warfare is changing radically. The situation we're witnessing in Ukraine tells us that modern warfare manifests itself as the sum of technology and industrial production capacity. Recently, the use of unmanned platforms and drones in particular has taken center stage in conventional warfare. The 127-fold increase in the use of drones on the battlefield is the most tangible evidence that military doctrines are now being rewritten on a focus on autonomous system. Turkey is not merely a witness to this change, but one of its strongest pioneers. The world has reignited the debate on nuclear deterrence, which had been shelved following the Cold War. Global defense spending has reached a historic high of $2.9 trillion. The annual growth rate of 8.1% demonstrates that the world now views defense not as an expense, but as a vital insurance policy for survival. 73% of that expenditure is accounted for by just 10 countries. However, with a growth rate of 14% and strategic depth, our country is steadily increasing its influence as a game-changing producer. The 116% increase in European defense spending reflects the old continent's quest for strategic autonomy. The demand for defense solutions now extends beyond geographical borders. In this regard, we are not merely exporting products, we are building trust and strategic partnerships. Artificial intelligence is no longer merely a promise for the future, but the most disruptive force on the ground. It is no coincidence that some companies working for the Pentagon have seen growth exceeding 140% in a short amount of time. This technology is becoming a strategic operating system that, in the wrong hands, directs the decision-making mechanism of states and armies, reconstructing domination through digital code. We must be vigilant. We cannot allow this transformation to drag us into a techno-feudalism that makes us dependent on global overlords. For in a system where the algorithm and the data belong to others, no one can speak of fully independent sovereignty, but only of digital bondage. All these processes form a complete value chain spanning from skilled human resources to R&D and even financing. The strongest link in this chain is our skilled workforce. In this regard, the greatest achievement of the National Technology Initiative is to inspire the Turkish youth to dream within their own country. Modern defense doctrine necessitates a shift away from cumbersome development processes towards a mobile production paradigm characterized by low unit costs, high volume, and rapid field validation. At a time when threats are on the rise, the share of our defense expenditure in GDP is increasing, as is necessitated by our strategic necessity. The proportion of imports within our budget, which exceeds $36 billion, is also gradually decreasing. Our local component rate, which was around 20% in the early 2000s, has reached 83% thanks to the driving force of the National Technology Initiative. We're also increasing our exports every year. Our 2026 target of $13 billion in exports will be one of the hallmarks of Turkish engineering on the global stage. Distinguished guests, we do not view localization merely in terms of figures or percentages. For us, domestic industrial participation is a concrete milestone indicating the degree of full independence. Any technology whose design and algorithms do not belong to us risks turning us into digital colonies of the New World Order. Esteemed guests, it is precisely for this reason that this increase in our stability shows us that our slogan is not just an empty slogan, and it is a concrete proof demonstrating that it is fulfilled. We have surpassed $10 billion in 2025 in our exports. As for imports, the largest item is the purchase of passenger aircraft by our airlines. When we exclude civilian items such as passenger aircraft purchases, the foreign trade balance of our defense industry has reached historic heights. However, the point I really wish to highlight here is the nature of our exports. From a country that once exported only simple components, we have now transformed into a technology hub that now plays a part in high-tech exports, ranging from smart munitions to unmanned systems. This broad spectrum, spanning from UCAVs to warships, demonstrates that Turkey can no longer be confined to a single technological pole. The defense industry is no longer merely a matter of security. This sector is now the driving force and flagship of Turkey's high-tech industrial transformation. Our global leadership in UAV exports and the products we export to 185 countries are the clearest fruits of this strategic focus. Now, let's take a look at SAHA Istanbul, Europe's largest cluster and the meeting point for all these global and local dynamics. Today, with over 1,300 member companies, 30 universities, and a network spanning 49 cities, we are a huge family that learns and produces together. Spanning an area of over 400,000 square meters, SAHA 2026 is more than just a trade fair. It is a meeting point for the minds that will shape the future of technology. The event will host 263 leading international companies from over 120 countries. This vast ecosystem that has made SAHA 2026 possible is the result not only of the efforts of companies and institutions, but also of a collective vision united by the ideal for full independence. So I would like to express my gratitude to all the institutions of our state and all our stakeholders who have supported the National Technology Initiative and walked this path with us, led by our President. Building on the success we achieved at SAHA 2024, we are moving forward. With an expected 1,700 participating companies and over 150,000 visitors this year, we are raising the bar higher with every event. We are establishing the SAHA brand among the leading names in the global defense sector.
With a project portfolio worth 14.3 billion managed by a workforce of over 88,000 skilled professionals and an export capacity exceeding 8 billion, the SAHA Istanbul ecosystem also demonstrates its operational efficiency. In addition to this, product launches that the world will see for the very first time, nearly 200 signing ceremonies and over 30,000 business meetings will be also held here. In particular, our FPV drone and UGV combat zones will be here where innovation takes tangible form. Our visitors will witness panels discussing the future of the world and our sector, as well as space meetings exploring what lies beyond the horizon. Exactly 192 official delegations from 76 countries across 4 continents are here today. SAHA is now a global brand. From Europe to Asia and from Africa to the Americas, every continent is looking to Istanbul today to keep pace with technological developments and understand how defense needs will evolve in the future. The 173 signing ceremonies held at the part of SAHA 2026 represented strategic business volumes of 8 billion, of which 6 billion is directly export-oriented. Distinguished guests, every penny generated from SAHA 2026 will be invested in our nation's futures. We will establish drone production and training centers for our young people in each of our 81 provinces. 81 centers across 81 provinces, with the largest in Istanbul. We will gradually build the infrastructure needed to enhance our young people's technological proficiency in this field and establish the capacity to rapidly produce millions of drones in emergencies. Our aim is to not merely to produce technology, but to nurture a technology generation that will utilize and further develop this technology. Dear guests, our horizon now lies beyond the sky. Throughout the journey from SAHA MUEK to IAC 2026, we will continue to be one of the strongest supporters of Turkey's national space program. Dear guests, today the world is being dragged toward uncertainty under the shadow of soulless algorithms and colossal digital monopolies. Some portray this technological revolution as a nightmare scenario. Turkey foresaw this very rupture in the world and is discussing today a full 20 years ago and took precautions. Many sacrifices were made along this path. Lives were lost in this cause. Countless sons of the nations that dedicated their lives to this struggle. The point we have reached today is the fruit of those silent heroes and the sweat of their labor. Yes, we are in a good position today, but our work is not yet done. We still have a great deal of work to do and a long way to go. Now it is the time to rise to the occasion with a spirit of mobilization, striving for full independence in every field of technology, from defense to healthcare and from energy to finance. It's our duty to rapidly equip our young people with the skill of the new age and to nurture them into pioneers who shape the future of technology. The National Technology Initiative is by no means merely an industrial project. It's not capital-driven, but people-centered. It rises not on the back of profit-driven greed, but on the principle of equal opportunity. It is the embodiment of a philosophy that upholds justice, practices compassion, looks after the oppressed, and serves humanity. Consequently, in the second century of our republic, our path is one of producing technologies that began as a dream and grew through prayers of a nation, technologies that serve as a shield for the oppressed and a barrier against the oppressor. This path is the embodiment of Turkey's self-confidence. Together we have achieved this, and we will continue to achieve even more. I would like to express my gratitude to all of my team members who contributed to this gathering, the National Technology Initiative. I greet you with all my deepest respect and hope that we come together in an ideal, fully independent, prosperous and just world.
SAHA İstanbul Yönetim Kurulu Başkanımız Sayın
We would like to thank Haluk Bayraktar, the CEO of SAHA 2026, and for their support.
for the insightful remarks and contributions to our program. Ladies and gentlemen, now to deliver his address, it is my honor to invite to stage the President of the Secretariat of Defense Industries of the Republic of Turkey, Professor Haluk Görgün. Şimdi konuşmalarını gerçekleştirmek üzere Türkiye Cumhuriyeti Cumhurbaşkanlığı Savunma Sanayi Başkanı Profesör Doktor Haluk Görgün'ü sahneye davet ediyorum.
Sayın Bakanlarım,
Distinguished ministers, distinguished commanders of the Turkish Armed Forces, esteemed representatives of our institutions, the esteemed managers and executives of our defense and aerospace industry, esteemed international guests, members of press, I cordially salute all of you. Today, as a part of this amazing picture today, it gives me great honor to be here with you. SAHA Istanbul, now a global brand, has the motto of rule over technology, shape the future. And the SAHA 2026 Expo will hopefully be auspicious for our allies, for our industry, for our sector, and to all participants. I would like to thank SAHA Istanbul, my team members at the Presidency of Defense Industries, our participants and all stakeholders for their efforts in making it possible. With their products, technology and their skills, all companies in our expo, I would like to congratulate them. I would also like to thank all of our guests who have come from all over the world to visit Istanbul. Welcome to Istanbul as an Istanbulite. Distinguished guests, SAHA 2026 is more than just a fair. It is a great strategic meeting that demonstrates the point at which our defense and aerospace industries are. This journey that started in a tiny space in 2018 is a huge organization that has piqued interest globally. In each and every organization, our area has increased by 50%, reaching a total of 120,000 meters squared. which is a result of the development initiative that Turkey started nearly quarter a century ago. It is the clearest product we can see of that initiative. So for that, we have our unbreakable will, strategy and vision and efforts, engineering and love for our homeland, our patriotism, led mostly and most prominently by our President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. But we are not done yet. We have a lot more work to do to focus on a new generation abilities to develop. Quantum technologies, sensors, data networks, satellite systems, cyber skills, autonomous abilities, AI applications, electronic harp resilience and systems integrations along other fields are the factors that will shape the future. So within that framework, we see our national competence initiative to be very valuable. With our human resources, engineering capacity, production discipline, and our culture of quality will this be possible. Designing a system is just as important as testing that system, and supporting it in the field, certifying it, and keeping up its development are also just as important. And as the Presidency of Defense Industries, we know that we need to reinforce every link in this chain. And this approach allowed us and led us to construct an ecosystem that unites all of our shareholders around this chain. And it is not just measurable on its own. Our clusters, our subcontractors, our SMEs, our technopark companies, and our research centers have also made great contributions. The knowledge accumulated by our universities and the dynamicism of our young entrepreneurs are determining factors for the future of this ecosystem. And with our efforts with the presidency, we support the integration of our initiatives into huge projects. And the university industry collaborations are therefore produce more concrete results. Our contractors will meet new suppliers. Our SMEs will get in touch with global companies. Our young entrepreneurs will meet their colleagues. And we will evaluate technology development models. SAHA 2026 is a very important meeting foundation for all of these regards, and is also prominent for its scope. Throughout the expo, we will have product launches and introductions, B2B, G2G, G2B meetings, as well as investor meetings will be held. The events and panels include the futures of the technologies of the future being examined in depth. So, SAHA 2026 is not just a fair, but it's a multi-dimensional exchange of experience and a platform for collaboration. Esteemed participants, our defense industry capacity has burdened us with new responsibilities on the international arena, and Turkey's approach to this regard is clear and concise. We offer our power to the service of stability. We use our technology not as a tool of operation, but as a guarantee of our independence and stability. So in the past 12 months, we have sent $10.5 billion of defense and aerospace exports to 185 countries, and soon we will surpass $11 billion, ranking Turkey among the top 10 countries in this field globally. And we are certain that we will achieve this goal, because today we are not just goal setters, but we are also a Turkey that reaches those goals step by step. We embrace the efforts of our industrialists. Turkey invests in the dreams of its young entrepreneurs. Turkey develops technologies and offers them to the world now. And SAHA 2026 is one of the most concrete outputs of this vision. and the vision we put through and our diligent leadership is led by our President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. So I would also like to offer him our thanks on behalf of our industries. In the coming period, the destination in which we will head is clear. We are going to bring down our dependence on foreign technologies to zero, increase our exports sustainably, and increase the competitive power of our companies globally. We will reinforce the cooperation between universities and industries, and we will also make our SMEs more efficient, and we will develop our industry in line with our technological goals. We will work with our allies, developing new trust-based cooperations, because it is of vital importance. Esteemed guests, we are living in a time where conflicts that start easily but are hard to end dominate the world. It is a precarious time, and the time to achieve stability in this precarious time is to achieve quick decision-making abilities, efficiency, and a sustainable understanding of an approach to industry. Therefore, we would like to offer our gratitude to the ministries, commanders, official delegations, and sector representatives who have come to our country to participate in this fair today. Turkey is a reliable ally that thinks in the long term in the industry and is able to empathize due to what we have been through in the past. Our understanding of cooperation and partnership isn't just limited to the sales of goods. We value common goals, common ideals, and a common mentality in our approach. And this allows us to produce together, to work together, and to establish equal relationships in our partnerships. In different regions, this allows Turkey to be prominent with not just its products, but with its accumulation of engineering knowledge, with its experience, and with its integration, and with its education, as well as its experience. And we are ready to turn this into stronger partnerships with our allies and friends. Each and every country brings their industrial priorities, security needs, and we can develop flexible models that prioritize these. Instead of having one-sided dependencies, we can have fair and sustainable partnerships. We care about that. So the call we are making is concise and precise. Come to us. Let's go beyond just trade relations in the defense industry. Come and let's have a long-term sustainable partnership constructed together. Let's answer not only the needs of today, but also the security questions of tomorrow together. This is also especially important with regard to our relationships with our NATO allies. The NATO summit and defense industry forum that will be held soon in our country will also be a verification and demonstration of that. And it will be the greatest defense industry organized by our country so far. From the contractors to SMEs, from technology initiatives to research centers, the entire ecosystem will be present in this meeting with their vision and their technical capacity. As Turkey, we see this process not just as an agenda of diplomatic contact, but we also want to directly contribute to the collective security architecture that we're developing together with our partners. So, with our allies, we will deepen our partnerships for the defense industry and reinforce our vision for mutual defense. The contacts we achieve during SAHA 2026 will form a strong basis for these future meetings and partnerships. Each and every step taken here is certainly going to contribute to our collective security. Esteemed guests and participants, with this in mind, SAHA 2026 will be a place where new partnerships are born and new projects are started, hopefully. And this organization will surely develop permanent partnerships that will lead the future of our industry. And so, as I end my remarks, I would like to thank SAHA Istanbul and everybody working in the defense industry, all of my colleagues and team members, and all of our workers here. I offer you my gratitude. All the companies, institutions, engineers, technicians, and team members here, I would like to congratulate you. SAHA 2026 International Defense and Aerospace exhibition will hopefully be auspicious for our country, our industry, and for all shareholders. I cordially salute all of you. Professor Dr. Haluk Görgün, the president of our defense industries, we thank him very, very much for his remarks.
Insightful remarks and his presence here at SAHA 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, to deliver his address, it is now my great honor to invite to the stage the Minister of Industry and Technology of the Republic of Turkey, His Excellency Mehmet Fatih Kacır. Hitaplarını gerçekleştirmek üzere Türkiye Sanayi ve Teknoloji Bakanı Sayın Mehmet Fatih Kacır'ın kürsü teşriflerini arz ederim.
Sayın Bakanım,
Dear Minister, distinguished ministers from abroad, and dear participants, we are here in the opening ceremony of SAHA 2026, and it's a great pleasure for me to be here, and I would like to welcome you again to our fair. The production capacity of Turkey in terms of defense, aerospace and space, this is our showcase, and I would like to thank everybody who has participated in the production of this showcase. So the global defense is reorganized, and we see that cooperations in terms of high technology is important, and it's important to meet such meetings such as this one. And this is important for the security of our country, of our region, and of the whole world. And I hope that this will be a participation and an addition to this security. And in these terms, I would like to welcome you again. Dear guests, and in your time in SAHA 2026 Expo, you will have a very profound experience here, because we have huge defense industry companies of Turkey, and with their most innovative products that will change modern warfare. And from our large companies to our SMEs, from our research and development to our technology centers, we see that is a decentralized production capacity, and there is a huge ecosystem behind our products, and this cooperation is the trademark of the Turkish defense industry. These are some parts you will see here. So we are in the state where we go into production in areas where other countries are doing research and development, and we see that the Turkish people are here in land, air, sea, and in space and cyberspace, and you will see the blood, sweat, and tears of the Turkish people who work for us, and I would like to congratulate the Turkish people for that. So, starting with the second quarter of the 21st century, we see that there is a unfortunate change. The global order that has been established to preserve peace after the Second World War is crumbling. So we see that the belief in international law and diplomacy, we see that more and more countries are using brute force. And countries who didn't invest in their defense infrastructure and relied on an umbrella of organizations are in a bad situations, and this ever-changing threat characteristics shows us that we are living in a time where the classical warfare is not to date. So the capacity of a defense is not only measured by their dominance in their land, air, and sea, but also in cyberspace. And this is a new innovation. And countries to have their needs fulfilled for defense have to invest more and more. In the last 10 years, we see that the defense expenditures have risen on about 10%, and this shows us, the developments today shows us that this trend will continue on. But we should also know that these huge budgets for the defense is not enough only for the defense of a country. You need serial production capacities, research and development, and an ecosystem for the whole defense industries, and this is a non-negotiable. As Turkey, in the leadership of our President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, this was always our mindset. And long-term research and development as plans were made, and implementation has been done, from main platforms to critical components on each and every step. National production was important, so we increased the amount of components from 20% to 80%. And 20% of UAVs has been produced in Turkey. And in an area like the defense industry, which is a long term, we see that these developments show the state where we are. And Khan, our fifth generation fighter, has taken flight. And we see a huge innovation with Kızıl Elma, who landed and started from a ship. And with Gökdoğan and Bozdoğan, we are among the few countries who can do this. And Kızıl Elma from Aselsan and Gökdoğan rocket has established a successful hit. And the first country who have a UCAV systems integration is Turkey. And we have components for the iron from the steel dome to protect the Turkish airspace. And Hürjet has taken also flight. And with the new agreements, Turkey has shown their stability in this product. So also on sea, and with engine technologies, we are able to find critical solutions in our air, land, and sea defenses. And we are solving these problems with our national resources. So to Turkey, there are a lot of limitations from different countries and organizations. But thank God that we are able to develop and produce these products also in Turkey nationally. So to support, we have a strong political support, and we have also our people who are supporting in this. We have 4,000 companies, research developments, and universities where our people are working day and night with a mean age of 34, and these people are the guarantee of the defense industry, not only in Turkey, also for our friends and allies. So the qualified personnel is here, and 2002 we had a defense export of 148 million, and last year it was around 10 billion. So in the exports we are in the top 11, and this trend will continue also in the future because our defense contractors are gaining new skills each day and raising their capacities with their partnerships and their cooperations. they strengthen their position on a global scale. And Turkey, which was dependent in terms of industrial products to 80% from abroad, I'm talking about Europe, and Europe is dependent 80% on foreign exports, and Turkey will be a very important player here. So with their strong and broad product palette, Turkey will be able to support this. And people who don't want to see the leadership of Turkey in this area will not stop Turkey, but will be responsible for taking Europe back, for example. So with strategic in Europe, there will be a strategical backpedaling in terms of defense contracts, and therefore Turkey is needed. To integrate our platforms into the NATO platforms is possible, and this will increase the technological capacities and will also have important benefits in terms of maintenance and support. And with the gains of our defense industries, we are working together with we are supporting the research and development productions of our academia, of our private companies and SMEs. And we started the investment for 1,112 different projects, and we gave 64 billion Turkish lira investment for 4,300 scientists, and we see we have lots of examples where we can see this, and these innovative capacities shouldn't be evaluated only in terms of military applications, because from internet to space technologies, we see that for research and development from the military industrial complex lies behind it. So every technological gain in this area is support for technology for today. Hypersonic technologies, internet systems, autonomous vehicles, laser and space technologies, biotechnology, quantum technologies, and the integration of security architecture to these systems. And countries who are able to do this will have an important advantage in the following days and years. Reading the paradigms of change and making the necessary steps will be a goal of Turkey. So in terms of game-changing technologies, we have started to develop our skills. Especially space is a very important headline for Turkey. Space is opened in the last years with more sustainable and cheaper rockets. In the last 23 years, we see that with our know-how in space technologies, we are able to take this chance and act on it. We are producing our own satellites, test them, and produce them. And this is a new stage of global competition. And our national space program is a trademark of the goal and of Turkey, and our astronauts We started a space station, building a space station in Somalia, and with our national propulsion system, we will fulfill our moon program. Fergani is a company who are building a global positioning system. This will eliminate important risks for our military solutions.
So, within this regard, we will be hosting the 77th International Space Congress in Antalya, which will demonstrate Turkey's capacity, competence, and its ability to develop technology. And we will remind the world of these capacities that we have once again. Esteemed friends, led by our president, making our country one of the HQs, the centers of global production, is one of our accomplishments. With our production capacity, we've increased the technological depth that we have. And the manufacturing industry added value in 2002 was $41 billion, whereas now it's $246 billion. We've increased our global competitiveness, building new partnerships and increasing our product variety, and carried our exports capacity to further levels. We've carried our exports from $36 billion to $276 billion. In automotive, it was $41.5 billion, $32 billion in chemistry, $29 billion in machinery, in exports. So we have huge production infrastructure that makes this possible. After China, in the huge, going to the belt, going to the middle of Europe, Turkey is the most prominent exporter after China. And this acceleration, the speed that we've able to catch, this momentum in the Turkish century, will be crowned with our new success stories in manufacturing, production, trade. And within this context, we will make Turkey the center of high added value production, and we are now activating new incentive mechanisms to make that possible. And we are also spreading our industry to all over Anatolia in a more balanced manner. And we are taking comprehensive steps to ensure the growth of our industry in that light. We will be shedding light on the next 30 years of our industry, increasing that area from 350,000 hectares from 160,000 hectares. We have prepared our industrial roadmap, and with these new industrial areas, we will be increasing our industrial production to a huge region, a huge geography, and we will create new industrial clusters all over Anatolia. And of course, the competencies we develop in the defense industry will also be transferred to the civil industries, which is very important for our development at large. However, another issue that we see as one of our priorities is the transfer of our civilian technological knowledge and experience to the defense industry. And so for that, we need to bring new perspectives to R&D. From automotive to IT, telecommunications to civil aviation, from energy to chemistry, electronics to machinery, biotechnologies to textile. The competencies offered by different sectors need to be taken advantage of in this regard. And our competencies that we have in these fields need to be transferred to the defense industry, allowing faster prototyping, faster and more agile product development, completing our R&D processes more quickly, and shifting more quickly to mass production. So in short, in all of our manufacturing processes, we are looking for the ways and methods. We need to discover quickly the ways and methods to make a more agile and quicker production. In Turkey, our defense industry clusters are mostly focused around Ankara, and we also need to multiply them through the diverse regions of Anatolia. The key to achieving these industrial goals is to work with our public institutions, the private sector, our institutions, and the universities through partnerships and collaborations, as well as alignment. With our huge companies, we need to reinforce the partnerships with SMEs and huge companies. The will to develop and create these provided by makes SAHA Istanbul a very, very valuable platform, especially with that in mind. In 81 of provinces, the call to produce drones in 81 provinces is a call that we find very valuable. And as the Ministry of Industry, we will do all we can to contribute to that. and to reinforce national and international partnerships. The success that they have had is worth appreciating. I would like to say that knowledge, technology, and production capacities are being exchanged here. And building partnerships where this is accomplished is our main principle. SAHA Expo is a place where concrete steps are taken in this regard, and it will be a very fruitful platform for all participants. As I end my remarks, I would like to thank SAHA Istanbul and to all stakeholders of this event, and once again for their valuable contributions to Turkey's journey. I hope that it will be a fruitful meeting for each and every one of us. I salute you all cordially. We thank our Minister of Industry and Technology.
To our Minister for his kind presence here and these insightful remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, to deliver his address, it is now my great honor and the privilege to invite to stage the Minister of National Defense of the Republic of Turkey, His Excellency Yaşar Güler. Şimdi kıymetli hitaplarını gerçekleştirmek üzere Türkiye Cumhuriyeti Milli Savunma Bakanı Sayın Yaşar Güler'in kürsü teşriflerini arz ederim.
Sayın Bakanım,
Esteemed Minister, esteemed ministers from our brotherly and allied countries, esteemed Presidency of Defense, commanders, and all generals and admirals from our allied countries, esteemed representatives of our defense industry, my heroic brothers in arms, distinguished guests, and members of press. I salute you all. As I begin my remarks, I would like to thank everybody who came from friendly and allied countries to join this international expo, and also to all participants. I bid you all welcome. Thanks to the opening ceremony of this organization, I am here with you, which gives me great honor. And I hope that this event will be auspicious for our country and for all stakeholders. Under our presidency, our Ministry of National Defense, relevant ministries and relevant institutions have contributed to this organization. And SAHA Expo is among Turkey's and Europe's greatest clusters, showing and demonstrating the high level that our defense industry has now reached. And in this regard, SAHA Expo has qualified meetings and product launches and product introductions, which makes it a quite unique platform that reinforces international cooperation. And the treaties signed and contracts signed in this event will not just be commercial steps, but they will also be historic milestones that set the grounds for future partnerships. Esteemed partnerships, in a time where uncertainty is getting more and more profound, and it is a time of uncertainty, especially the Russia-Ukraine war conflict that we have witnessed, which directly impacts our region, as well as the war between the US and Iran, have deeply affected regional and global security architectures. These wars and conflicts happening in close proximity offer us critical data while also increasing our responsibilities. In such an atmosphere of uncertainty, the Turkish armed forces are following all developments closely and with great attention to detail, and they leave no possibility unthought of and are taking every necessary measure to the fullest extent. And we see now very clearly that focusing on military mobility will not be enough. The picture we are up against is one that will shift the security architecture, the balance of deterrence, and the entire military landscape. With the greatest warfare technologies of modern warfare technologies, this harmonized concept necessitates having an army that is always ready and effective, while also making it necessary to have an efficient and sustainable defense industry ecosystem, demonstrating just how vital both of these are. Esteemed guests, as you know, until the 1980s, in the defense industry, we were mostly a supplier, but with the visionary leadership of our president, with our strong-willed policies, we have now become a country that designs, produces, and exports its own defense systems. With this vision of development in our land platforms, we have vehicles that are equipped with the latest technology, demonstrating high movement capabilities on the field, and in the seas we have our battleships and our unmanned marine vehicles demonstrating our force and power. And the actual great revolution of the Turkish defense industry is the unmanned aerial vehicles, who have now rewritten the historical direction of warfare. Today, UAVs, UCAVs, and other strategic technologies that we have, the artificial intelligence they have, with their sensitive strike capabilities and high maneuverability, they have created a huge impact globally, especially demonstrating what Turkish engineering can accomplish to the entire world. This high level that we've reached in unmanned vehicles has also carried us to a much further level in our military presence. The Iron Dome for the defense of our skies and our entire defense system was also a reflection of this. Our air defense system will be working in full harmony with each other in this structure, and it will carry Turkey forward, and is a demonstration that Turkey is progressing with concrete steps in this field. Esteemed guests, Turkish defense industry products are not on catalogs today, but are also all systems that have proved in themselves all over the battlefields where they are used in the world. We have sensitive ammo and that are of lower cost compared to their other countries, and so they directly affect warfare. And in this time where this ammunition has become a tool of asymmetric warfare, Turkey offers weapon systems as well as a sustainable technology and development ecosystem and economy to its partners. And I have to say that this huge transformation is a huge strategic, has made Turkey a strategic center that shapes the world of strategic warfare. And in technologies that we were able to follow in the past, today we are in a position where we can offer high added value solutions that we own. And platforms such as SAHA Expo will be an important step to allow these products to find their rightful place in the world and for us to develop strategic partnerships. Reaching this level, making the entire world envious of us, has been possible through the diligent work of our defense industry companies, from the managers to the workers, the engineers to technicians. It has been the fruits of the massive efforts of the Turkish defense industry family. Esteemed guests, I especially have to say that in this field where advanced technologies are being used, our R&D activities, local production, and our qualified workforce investments carry us to higher levels, while also improving our economic development. The accumulation of high technology that we have got from this has contributed to our country's independence while also contributing to a lot of different fields, from transportation to energy, from healthcare to logistics, improving our national capabilities. This incredible level that we have reached is a source of great pride, but it is not enough, because we are in an age of competition, and this competition increases in line with these developing technologies, and the needs are also increasing. So in this sense, we have to continue improving ourselves and always maintain our vision and goal of reaching the highest levels. A sustainable defense force is not just having technology, but also to be able to use that technology and deploy it en masse into the field. So the Turkish defense industry needs to maintain its mass production level to be enough for its allies and itself, and also we need to gain momentum in our efforts to develop things further, because we need to remember that stagnating in this day and age is falling back. And to be prepared for asymmetric threats, our UAV and UCAV technologies, autonomous naval and marine platforms, space and aerospace and cyber warfare capabilities also need to be carried to further levels in the shortest amount of time. We need to make more efforts in that sense. And the truth is that the center of power in today's world and the world of the future will be in the hands of those who quickly develop technology and don't hesitate to carry things a step further. And as it has been until now, after this point, we will keep working with all of our stakeholders, mainly our Presidency of Defense Industries, and we will continue our efficient and coordination-driven efforts together. We know very well that Turkey is just as strong as its army and defense industry, and our future will be just as secure as that. Our policies will be integrated with our military capabilities, and we will continue reinforcing and building our international partnerships, allowing Turkey to achieve global and regional peace, not just peace within its borders. And it will keep being one of the greatest maintainers of this peace thanks to this. And SAHA Expo demonstrates our increasing competency in technological development, firstly to allied, brother and friendly countries, gathering all together on a common ground, contributing greatly to this. And as I end my remarks, I would like to offer my gratitude to the valuable managers and employees of our defense industry companies, and to everybody who has made an effort for this organization, mainly Haluk Bayraktar, the CEO of Baykar, the chairman, and to everybody else who has made this valuable organization possible. The negotiations and agreements, hopefully, I hope that the agreements and contracts and negotiations here will be fruitful for all of you. I salute all of you cordially.
Sahnemizde ağırlamaya devam etmek isteriz. Buyurun lütfen. Programımız
We would like to keep you for a short, brief while here, because we will have a ribbon cutting ceremony.
and the official opening of the exhibition. I kindly invite our esteemed protocol members to the stage to perform ribbon cutting ceremony. Please join us, our esteemed protocol members who are staying at the first row at the hall. Please come and join us to perform ribbon cutting ceremony. Saygıdeğer misafirlerimiz, şimdi açılış törenimizin kurdele kesimi ve fuarın resmi açılış bölümüne geçiyoruz. Kurdele kesim törenini gerçekleştirmek üzere kıymetli protokol üyelerimizi sahneye davet ediyoruz. To join us on the stage and to perform ribbon cutting ceremony, I kindly invite all our esteemed protocol members to the stage. Kurdele kesim törenine katılmak üzere salonumuzda bulunan tüm kıymetli protokol üyelerimizi sahneye davet ediyorum. Medya kesimiyle birlikte programımızın resmi açılışını gerçekleştirmek üzere şimdi sahneyi tüm kıymetli protokol üyelerimize bırakıyorum. Now to officially kick off the SAHA 2026 exhibition, I kindly leave the floor to cut the ribbon and to officially open our exhibition. The floor is our distinguished protocol members. Programımızın resmi açılışını yapmak üzere şimdi sahneyi değerli protokol üyelerimize bırakıyorum.
And now we are leaving the scene, the stage to the members, the valuable members of our protocol for the opening ceremony. The opening ceremony of SAHA 2026 is now underway.
And now, distinguished guests, together we have officially opened SAHA 2026, the International Defense and Aerospace Exhibition. We wish a very productive, successful and fruitful exhibition for our country, our industry and you all, our distinguished participants. Kıymetli misafirler, hep birlikte SAHA 2026 Uluslararası Savunma, Havacılık ve Uzay Sanayi Fuarımızın resmi açılışını gerçekleştirmiş bulunuyoruz. Fuarımızın hayırlı olmasını temenni ediyor. Ülkemiz, sektörümüz ve tüm değerli katılımcılarımız için verimli, başarılı ve bereketli bir fuar olmasını diliyoruz. Distinguished protocol members, now we kindly invite you all to proceed to the exhibition area. This will be followed by the stands visit. In the rest of the program, a visit to the outdoor exhibition area will take place. Thank you so much once again for being with us today and we respectfully greet you all. Kıymetli protokol üyelerimizi şimdi fuar alanına intikal etmeye davet ediyoruz. Ardından stand ziyaretlerimiz gerçekleştirilecektir. Programın devamındaysa dış sergi alanı ziyaretleri gerçekleştirilecektir. Bir kez daha katılımlarınız için siz değerli misafirlerimize çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Sizleri saygıyla selamlıyoruz. Hoşça kalın.
Karadeniz, hava ve uzayda, savunma havacılık işte bu sahada. Tayfun Hisar, Kızılelma SAHA, İstanbul'da Altay Tolga, Mavi Vatan, Bilge Makya ve Kuş Kapanı, Gök Vatan, Hür Kuş Hürjet, Kaan Akıncı, TB3, Anka, Gökbey, bu hepsi bu fuarda. Aselsan, Baykar, Roketsan ve TUSAŞ teknolojiye egemenler. Hem dünyada hem de sahada. Karadeniz, hava ve uzayda, savunma havacılık işte bu sahada.